Tuesday sauna word. Here at the Harambe Wildlife Reserve, we like to say the word Twende. Twende means let's go. Jambo, everyone. My name is Mickey. That's Mickey like the mouse. I'm going to be your guide through the Harambe Wildlife Reserve today. Couple things before we head into the reserve. Make sure we're staying seated with our hands, arms, feet, and legs inside the truck at all times. Parents, please don't raise your children up into the air. You are not Rafiki. They are not Simba. There is an animal spotting guide right above your head. It's going to help you identify some of the animals we might get to see out there today. You're going to want to hang on super tight to all your personal devices. It does get really bumpy out there on the reserve, and we can't stop to get anything, and there's no guarantee you're going to get your phone back the same condition you dropped it in. We do also want to refrain from calling out to any of the animals out on the reserve. This is their home, so we don't want to do any clicking or kissing sounds trying to get their attention. It's just not respectful. It looks like we're getting the clear from the word to head on into the reserve. We're headed first into the Little Ituri Forest. Now, a lot of the animals here like to use camouflage to stay hidden in between the trees. So keep your eyes between the bushes, between the trees. If you look right away off to your right over your shoulder there, you're going to see a couple of okapi. Now, okapi look like they might be related to zebras. However, they are the closest relative to a giraffe. If you look over on your left as well, you're going to see quite a few bongo in between the trees. Bongo are nicknamed the ghosts of the forest. They're rarely ever seen and rarely ever heard. Their horns are tilted backwards, which is what's going to help them stay super quiet moving through the underbrush. Now, as we come around the corner, if you look right there on top of the hill, you're going to see a black rhino just kind of munching on his breakfast up there. There's also going to be one right around the corner here next to the rock wall. So we're just going to pull up ahead here and get a really good view of this black rhino here. Now, black rhinos can weigh up to 3,000 pounds. They have really, really great hearing. If you look at those ears, they're kind of shaped like cups, so they can hear for miles. Coming up on your right here, these are some greater kudu. You can tell that these ones over here are actually female. They don't have any horns on top of their heads. Greater kudu are known for how high they can jump, about 6 to 8 feet straight up into the air. Oh, look. And a couple of saddle-billed storks over here on your right or your left-hand side. They're just kind of sunning themselves. Now, you'll never find those two too far apart. Saddle-billed storks do mate for life, so that's a forever couple back there. They can stand about 5 feet tall. Their wingspan's about 9 feet wide, which is roughly the width of the canopy above your head. Now we're leaving the forest and headed closer to the Safi River. Now inside the Safi River, a lot of animals like to hang out just below the surface of the water, so keep your eyes peeled towards just below the surface. They're going to hang out right next to that group there. They're going to think they're getting some food. Looks like they are, actually. He's super excited. You see his ears wiggling. We're probably going to get a better view of a couple more up ahead here on the left-hand side. Right behind the island over here, you're going to get a chance to see a bloat of Nile hippos. That's B-L-O-A-T. Now, Nile hippos will spend most of their time submerged below the water. It helps keep their bodies cool. They can also hold their breath for up to 8 minutes, so they can stay down there for quite a while. And these pelicans you see, these are pink-backed pelicans.
See, look, there's pelicans.
They're actually the smallest of the pelican species, but their wingspan can be anywhere between 6 to 9 feet. As we come around the corner, friends, please make sure that we are remaining seated, that we're hanging on tight to all of our personal devices.
Jaden, look, an alligator.
We are in crocodile territory, so if you look over to your left over here, down into that pool, you're going to see a handful of those Nile crocodiles.
Oh, crocodile.
Known for their toothy grins, you can see those teeth poking out from their bottom jaw. About 2,000 psi built up inside those jaws. They can also be very maternal and gentle. They like to roll their eggs around in their mouth. That helps promote healthy hatching of their little ones. As we get a lot closer to the savannah, you're going to notice that a lot of the vegetation is going to change. You're going to notice there's fewer bushes and the canopies of the trees are higher. You're also going to notice quite a few of these trees over here on your right. Kind of looks like that tree was planted upside down, but it's a baobab tree. So that's just how it looks about 9 months out of the year. They can hold thousands of gallons of water at a time. That's why its nickname is the Tree of Life. Now we are entering into the African savanna, which is home to some of the most famous animals in Africa. Animals like zebras and giraffes, elephants and lions, so keep an eye out for some of those as we go. First thing you're going to see right away over here on your right hand side, those are wildebeests. About 1.5 million wildebeest will come together every year, and they're all going to migrate together. They can travel anywhere between 500 to 1,000 miles altogether. The dust that they kick up from that journey can be seen from outer space. Also over here on your right hand side, you're going to see quite a few Maasai giraffe. A group of Maasai giraffe altogether is called a tower. Now Maasai giraffe are known for their irregular spots. They kind of look like puzzle pieces on their backs. And if you look over to your left as we come around this corner, you're going to see a handful of those African painted dogs right there.
Oh, Jaden, look on your left.
Most successful hunters in Africa, they'll chase down their prey until it gives out of exhaustion. If you look on your right over here, you can see that Maasai giraffe using its prehensile tongue to eat from the trees. Prehensile is just a really fancy word for finger-like, so it's going to wrap around the branch just like a finger and it's going to strip it of its leaves. If you look in between the bushes all the way back there on your left-hand side, as you come around the corner, you're going to see a few sable antelope. Now, sable antelope are the emblem of the Harambe Wildlife Reserve. They're known to have gone up against lions and won because in every fight or flight situation, they will always choose to fight. Now these mounds that you guys see on the left-hand side, these are termite mounds. Termites will build them and they're going to harden in the hot savanna sun. Animals like elephants like to push their tusks up against them, kind of like a cat in a scratching post. You'll see on your right-hand side a few of these Maasai giraffe eating their snacks this morning. Now, Maasai giraffe will only sleep for about 30 minutes a day, and that's going to be broken up into little baby power naps. The majority of the day, all they're going to be doing is eating. They have a very, very high metabolism, so they do need to keep eating throughout the day. That's why if you saw earlier that Maasai giraffe that was using his tongue to eat, that's why their tongues are actually purple. It's going to act as a natural sunscreen because their tongues are outside of their bodies for most of the day. So when they have that deep purple coloration, their tongues won't get sunburned. as we come around the corner here, up ahead on your right-hand side, you're going to see 3 Hartman's mountain zebras. Now, a big debate in the scientific community was whether or not Hartman's mountain zebras were white with black stripes or black with white stripes. The easy solution that they came up with was just by simply looking at their noses. Since their noses are black, they've decided that they are black with white stripes. So you come around the corner here, looks like there's quite a few trees that have been knocked over. That's a really good sign for us because elephants do like to knock trees over so that they can eat the vegetation from the top. On your right, you will see one just over the ridge there. We're going to get a better view of him up ahead. If you look over here on your left-hand side, in between these trees, you're going to see a few mandrills. Now, mandrills are monkeys. They're also known for their very bright coloration on their faces. They've got a very bright blue and a very bright red on their face. It actually gets brighter the more excited they get. Here's a really good view of that African elephant here. Now you can tell he's an African elephant by the shape of his ears. They're roughly shaped like the continent of Africa. And you'll see him flapping his ears a little bit. Elephants do that to help cool down their body. On really, really hot days, if they flap them enough, they can actually cool down their body by about 15 degrees. Now we are still in elephant country, so keep an eye out for a few more of those. They do like to travel in herds. Now their habitats recently have been pretty devastated by a mining of a mineral called coltan. Coltan is actually just found in your cell phones, your laptops, your cameras. So one really easy way that we can help protect the habitats of elephants is by simply recycling our old devices. Now, as I said earlier, they do travel in herds just like many of the other animals in the savannah. However, this one's a matriarchal one, so that just means that there's one female in charge of everyone. When the males hit their teenage years, they're usually kicked out of the herd to go off and join a bachelor herd. Looks like we did find the rest of the herd. If you look through the trees on your left-hand side, you'll get a little glimpse of the rest of the herd through there. We're going to go around the corner here, see if we can't get a little bit of a better view. Right over here. Looks like that baby was just playing around in the water. Oh, looks like he's throwing some water on himself. Now there's 40,000 mussels inside those trunks.
Oh, look, the little rabbit.
So they can use those to do just about anything with it. Usually they'll use them to eat their food, to put some hay in their mouth or some leaves. They can also use them to do just what those guys are doing, to throw water on their backs on hot days to help keep them cool. Another one right here as well.
Wow, look how blue that water is.
Flapping his ears pretty hard to try and keep himself cool here.
Look at all the flamingos.
So you come around the corner here on your left-hand side, you're going to see a flamboyance of flamingo. These are greater flamingo, not named because they're better than the other flamingos, but because they are the biggest of their species. They get their bright pink coloration from their diet of brine shrimp, which is rich in beta-carotene.
Rhino.
If you look to your left here, you're going to see a crash of rhinos. Looks like a couple of babies are playing over there as well. They're hanging out near that mud wallow. They'll roll around in the mud, and it's going to act as a natural sunscreen for them. As humans, I definitely do not recommend that. I would say just stick with your banana boat. Slow down here. Looks like this rhino wants to walk right into the road. Oh, they just want to say hello. Now, rhinos are really protective of their babies. So she just wanted to make sure we weren't going to get too close over there. Now, if you look right on top of the hill over here and along that tree line, you're going to see a couple of cheetahs. Now, cheetahs are the fastest land animal, fastest land mammal. They can go 0 to 60 in 3 seconds. That's about how fast Rock and Roller Coaster is over at Hollywood Studios. All the cheetahs that live on the Harambe Wildlife Reserve are female. They are the cheetah girls. Now, they're the ones that are going to hunt during the day. That's when their eyesight is best. Unlike other big cats like lions that will hunt at night. They kind of go back and forth between sharing that hunting ground.
I'll go back to the other side so you get to see more.
Come on, here's an ostrich. He just ran right in front of me. All right. We do like to give the animals the right of way here. They do live here, so he's just gonna run down the road here, going for a morning jog, all right? Now, they can't fly, but as you can see, they can run pretty fast. They can actually outrun this truck about 35 miles an hour, and their wings aren't useless. They'll actually use them kind of like how a boat uses a rudder. So when they're going really fast, they can throw out a wing, and they'll actually turn on a dime. If you look right over there to your right-hand side, you're going to get a chance to see those lions taking a little morning snooze. There's a male and 2 females. You can see the second female on the very top of the rocks over there.
We're gonna go see. We're gonna get a better angle. Yeah, we'll get to see them again. See them sleep.
And super quickly, if you guys just look right over here to your right, you're going to see a bonzo bok. Now, there were only about 20 bonzo bok left in the world when a farmer put a fence around them and brought them back from near extinction. So they have one of the best success stories in all of Africa. Another good view of these lions over here. Super big paws, as you can see. Now, the females are going to be the ones to go and hunt at night. The male is going to stay back and protect the pride.
Trust me.
It's usually not just left up to one male. A couple of them will band together and help protect the pride. As we come around the corner here on your left-hand side, this guy's my favorite right here on the reserve. This is a warthog. He's so cute.
Look at Puma.
Now, yes, absolutely. Our most famous warthog on the planet is Pumbaa, of course. Now, Pumbaa in Swahili does mean foolish. However, these guys are super duper smart. So they'll actually back themselves into their den. That's what's going to leave their tusks exposed and keep predators away from them at night. Another view of that ostrich that just ran in front of us. Now, there are some ostrich eggs down there on your right-hand side. Those eggs are super duper strong. A grown adult male and also a grown ostrich, which weighs more than us, can actually stand on top of those and they won't break. edge of the reserve, and this is where the warden has their post. Now, they like to take care of all the animals out here that come to the reserve. Looks like they've even adopted themselves some Nigerian dwarf goats. Super duper cute. Now they produce a very nutritious milk, even more nutritious than cow's milk. So the warden's gonna offer them shelter and food and water. In return, he can sell that milk or give it to their family. Either way, really, really great example of how humans and animals can coexist together peacefully. As we exit the reserve here today, friends, I do want to leave you with a little bit of a challenge. Walt Disney himself said that conservation is not just up to conservationists and scientists, it's the business of everyone. So we can do little things every single day to help contribute to the conservation of the planet. Things as easy as reducing, reusing, recycling. You can reduce the amount of water you use by shutting off the faucet when you brush your teeth. You can reuse reusable water bottles, reusable grocery bags. And then we can recycle just about everything. Paper, plastic, cardboard, aluminum, all that fun stuff can just be thrown in a recycle bin. These simple things, if we all work together, will all compound together to create one big act of conservation. It's going to help protect the habitats of a lot of the animals we saw today, and it's going to help protect the planet as a whole. Now, friends, as we're getting closer to the village, go ahead and take a look around, gather up all those personal belongings. We don't want to leave anything out here on the truck. If we didn't get to see any of our favorite animals here today, I do recommend coming back. No two safaris are the same. I also recommend going to any of our walking trails as well. Really cool viewings of some more animals out here. Here at the Harambe Wildlife Reserve, we don't like to say the word goodbye. We do like to say kwaherini, which means to go well. So kwaherini, friends, go well, go wild, and go make a difference. Once again, my name is Mickey. That's Mickey like the mouse. Thank you so much for coming along.